Hey guys, Greg here, Casual DM. Um, David Daniel Ducker posted just recently on the YouTube RPG Brigade a picture of Juggernaut from, Marvel's X-Men. Yeah. And it was like a joke or something, like he had a really high armor class or something. But he was talking about wouldn't he have high hit points or something like that. And basically just got into a small discussion about armor class and hit points and how they work and how they should work and why does it work that way. So I just told him I was going to make a video, and here it is. Armor class defines your ability to avoid hits. Now, different games do different things with armor. D&D uses armor as deflection instead of damage reduction, because the way they see it, armor isn't used to take the hit, it's used to avoid the hit, which to the best of my knowledge is mostly true. You're not actually supposed to just take hits with armor, you're supposed to try and avoid hits while using armor. So yeah, having a higher armor class just means you're not actually being hit physically, like you're not actually going to take damage. And then hit points are just I don't want to say it like this, but I don't know exactly how to explain it easily. It's like a bubble in a way, kind of. Not really. It's a bad way of putting it. It's like the extent of your ability to stay in combat without falling out. You're not always hit when you take hit point damage, and you're not always taking damage. What it is like of course, if someone comes at you with like a big two-handed axe and they just sweep across like that, aiming for your torso, or aiming for your head, and they hit. Well, if they hit, then you're going to take a lot of damage. You're not just going to be able to pull that axe out and be like, oh, well, let's keep going. But there's a chance that his stats might not be that high. So what you can say is that he swings at you with his axe and it almost caught you, but you just barely ducked out of the way in time. And that would take away from your hit points instead. I know that that's confusing for some people, but that's personally how I explain it. But hit points are just essentially how long you can last in combat. They're not really like your actual health. It's not how much blood you've lost necessarily. It's not how much damage you've physically taken. It's how much your character has gone through in that fight. And that's why second wins actually do make sense, and some people don't like second wins or reserve points or whatever because they say it doesn't make sense. How do you just instantly heal? Because you're not healing. You're taking a second, taking a big breath, and then you get back into the fight. You're revitalizing yourself, I guess is a way to say it. Not really good with the terminology, I'm sorry. But then there's damage reduction. And damage reduction would be something like, okay, a werewolf. It's hard to deal damage to a werewolf without silver weapons. So a werewolf, I believe, at CR2 has like a damage reduction 4. I think it's 4, but silver bypasses it. If you have a silver weapon, then you completely bypass that 4. That 4 is irrelevant. But if you hit it with a sword for 8 damage, it only takes 4. Even though you had to hit armor class, and now you're taking away hit points, damage reduction still comes in. I don't know if there's a way players can get a hold of damage reduction. There might be magic items for that. I don't know, because I've never really seen anything like that. Mostly because I don't know a lot of magic items. I usually stick to a handful of magic items when I even playing games where I get the chance to use magic items, but nonetheless. So that's small explanation. Armor class is avoiding damage. Hit points is how long you can last in a fight before you basically are just out of breath and passed out, essentially. So, and the damage reduction is just a whole other thing, and it's weird, and it's usually supernatural for monsters and stuff like that. That's usually not something you'll get as a player. But that's my small explanation. I'll see you guys